Move over Sydney Roosters because there are new kings of the sombrero in town, the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. They have just pulled off the off-season signing so far because they have somehow managed to pull Stephen Crichton away from the Penrith Panthers, signing him to a $3.3 million deal over the next 4 seasons, and on top of that, he is going to be their fullback. So the Bulldogs will be going into 2024 with a spine of Stephen Crichton at the back, Matt Burton in the 6, and Reid Marnie in the 9. The Doggies are looking scary. They got Serrato as their head coach. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting young spines in the competition. But guys, let's do a deep dive into Stephen Crichton. What's it mean for him? What's it mean for Penrith? And what does it mean for the Bulldogs, of course? But guys and gals, before we get any more into the video, you need to do the classic. Run it straight at that like button off the kickoff. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and leave a comment down below. Do you think this was the right decision to be made by Stephen Crichton? Do you think it's the right signing for the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs? Let me know in that comment section below. Now, first of all, I think some congratulations are in order. Only a few years ago, Stephen Crichton was the wonder kid who scored with his first ever year, an Origin player, and one of the most clutchest players in rugby league. Look what he did for Samoa. And of course, without him, the Penrith Panthers wouldn't be sitting here with that 2021 premiership. So congrats to Stephen Crichton. I know it's going to be hard for him to leave Penrith. He is one of the key figures of that culture that club has built with the likes of Luai and Brian To'o, 2 of his closest mates. So for him to leave, it had to be a brave decision. I'm sure there was a lot more than just the money involved, which, of course, congratulations to Stephen. He has just set his family up for a long time, because $3.3 million, it ain't too shabby. But I think most importantly for Stephen, he has the chance to don the #1 jersey. There was a time where it looked like he was going to get that opportunity at the Penrith Panthers, but Dylan Edwards has gone to become one of the best fullbacks the current game has on offer. So it made sense. They re-signed Edwards, they re-signed Cleary, they re-signed Luai. They had to let go of someone, and unfortunately in the modern game, they were probably going to let go of their right centre. But Stephen Crichton, congrats to him. He's off to the Doggies. But what does this mean for the Canterbury? But it is incredible, because it was only a few years ago, not even last season, that we were talking about how the Bulldogs had no young guns, had no spine for the future, and now they are going to have one of the best young spines in the competition between Stephen Crichton, Matt Burton, and Reid Marnie. Now, apparently they still have a bit of cash to throw around, so if they can get Mitchell Moses, then the Bulldogs, you can lock them in for at least finals footy in 2024, because that right there, that is a top 5 spine in the competition. But even without Mitchell Moses, let's just say they keep Kyle Flanagan, they would probably have a top 10 fullback, one of the best 6s in the comp, and one of the best 9s in the comp. Pairing that with Viliami Kikau in the back row, TPJ looks fitter than he ever has been, and then they've got arguably the game's best winger on the edge there. That is a recipe that other teams will have nightmares over. It's been an incredible turnaround for the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. As for Stephen, he's proven that he can handle the fullback position in the NRL. Every time he's gone there, he has excelled. Like I said, there was even talk only about 24 months ago that he could pip Dylan Edwards for that fullback jersey long term at the Panthers. And honestly, I think that would have been the plan if it wasn't for what we saw from Dylan Edwards in the recent seasons. Unfortunately, the Penrith Panthers would have had to let someone go. And if you're going to let anyone go, it's a centre in the modern game. Stephen Crichton, probably a top 3 centre running around. And unfortunately, that's the way the modern game is. The best centers, they end up playing fullback. Just look at Joey Manu. So it always felt that this was the move. Stephen probably could have stayed, but he would have had to take probably half what he would have taken to go to the Bulldogs. And honestly, I definitely think that probably came across his mind. Personally, I'm not shocked about this move, and I just want to say that Gus Gould, he must be loving this because he's got all these Penrith connections, and it feels like we are building to Gus Gould versus Ivan Cleary, with this time Ivan as Panthers and Gus. Stephen Crichton, they have Kickout, they have Marnie, they have Burton for a long time, and if they can get Mitchell Moses, then I think they go straight into the contenders category for 2024. They've been missing those two big players in the number 7 and in the number 1 jersey. Probably the two most important positions in the modern game, which has proven to us in the recent years. Just look at what Tommy and Trell have done in that number 1, and look to what only someone like Chatty Townsend did last season for the North Queensland Cowboys. If they can land Mitchell Moses as well as Stephen Crichton, partner him with Reid Marnie and Matt Burton, two Penrith players, two Para players, after they just met in the grand final, then they're another contender in this so-called Battle of Western Sydney, which would be great to see. As for 2024, if they don't make the finals with Crichton, Burton and Marnie in their spine with Kickout on an edge, Bronson Sherry out wide with Josh Adokar on the wing, then there could be some trouble, and they may have to start looking at more than just the head coach and the playing group. But I don't think it'll come to that if I had to put money on it. I think the Bulldogs will probably be a top 6 side by 2024. I think Stephen Crichton's going to kill it at fullback. As for the Penrith Panthers, look, they have the best junior system in the competition. They won every single bloody grade but one last year, which they still made the grand final and lost by a point. So if anyone's going to be able to replace Stephen Crichton, it's the Penrith Panthers. They'll probably have another Isaac Tago, which will force another bloody Origin player to be moved out of position, because that Penrith system is absolutely insane. Congrats to Stephen. What a decision it had to be for him. I'm so glad that he's made it. I'm so glad that he secured the bag. I know it would have been hard for him, but it's done now. He can focus on probably more than likely winning a 3rd straight premiership with the Penrith Panthers. He's going to be 23. He's already won 3 comps. He's done what no other group of players has done before and taken Samoa to a World Cup final. So secure the bag, earn your position, build your legacy even further, because there is a world where Stephen Crichton goes to the Bulldogs and enters that elite category of fullbacks. And heck, if they get Mitchell Moses, maybe he can win a 4th straight premiership. But he's only won 2 at the moment, so let's keep the hyperbole down. But guys and gals, let me know in that comment section, do you think the Bulldogs with this signing are contenders for 2024? Let me know in that comment section below. Do you think the Dogs can make the finals this year? Let me know. Of course, run it straight at that like button like you're making the charge in the first hit up of Origin off the kickoff, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because you can't be the footy guy who's not subbed to Paddy G going into the 2023 NRL season. I've got a bunch more videos coming here on the tube. I've got a bunch of TikToks coming, so go follow me there. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.